So, hello again. Now I will explain how a campaign works. As a general explanation of what a campaign is, and so playing the campaign you must use the core rules, yes. And you should of course read the background story to understand the background of the campaign. A campaign is played exclusively by only two players. The red one, the RedCat, and the yellow one, the EFA. One of the players takes the role of an EFA Commander, therefore commands the European faction EFA, European Freedom Army, in the yellow color, for the duration of the whole campaign. For this he receives the campaign book of EFA, this one. When it is ready, this is white, this is a prototype of course. And he will get the box for the EFA, also of course the box for the infantry. The RedCat player, the same. This one, and he gets the campaign book. Both players get so-called campaign logbook. Here the player can save their missions and the state. After every mission, the parameter must be written. A campaign consists of several missions which are described in the respective campaign books. During a campaign, both players each experience their own campaign process and stories for their own point of view. The two players alternately play one of their possible missions from their own campaign course. While one player plays his current selected mission as commander of his faction, the other player plays the antagonist. This antagonist is then the game leader and can either play himself as the commander of his faction or a foreign faction or scripted guards. This is determined and described in detail in the respective mission. Players receive so-called mission cards. There are a lot of mission cards. In the campaign there are up to 40 missions, so these are 40 mission cards. These received mission cards represent the missions that are currently selectable. Yes. And so only the mission cards a player owns, he can select. The player who has chosen a mission from his mission cards is the so-called player 1. During this mission, his opponent is then the so-called player 2 for this mission. After this mission, they swap these roles. Another one is the player 2 and the other one is the player 1. As player 1, you are the agonist of this mission. You choose a mission from the you received mission cards. For example, player 1 has only one mission card, yes, the name for the mission and a short description about this mission, some kind of flavor text, and the pages where you can find it in the campaign book. As player 1, you are the agonist of this mission. You choose a mission card of your missions. You receive then in your campaign book less information about this mission than player 2, the antagonist. Accordingly, you usually have to find out a lot for yourself. However, you often have more freedom and can change more things in the course of the game. The primary goal is in the mission description. It is on the hand of the victory condition of your mission, but is on the other hand often only a command of your superior or the initially most obvious solution. As a commander, however, you are a human, thinking character and can request goals or find alternative solutions. So I show you the sequence of a campaign. Okay. Preparation. Choose the factions. Every player of these two players must choose his faction, EST or RedCat, EFA or RedCat. Gets the campaign book, the player token, and the first mission cards. These first mission cards are defined in the rules. Then roll and the dice 6, and he is the player 1 or the other one is the player 1. So it's only determined who starts with his mission. And then the next group is playing the campaign. So player 1 chooses his mission out of his mission cards, then play this mission, logbook notation, and then they swap. The next one is the player 1 gets the player 2, and player 2 is then the next mission player 1. Of course, the factions are the same. Yes. And when the campaign is ready, this means no one has mission cards anymore. Then is the evaluation of the campaign. What is after this war? How is the political situation there? And how looks the world? There is no, hey, you are the hero and you have solved all problems and the world is free. No. It is never so after a war, believe me. So, okay, let's play the first mission. The first mission is for RedCat. The only mission card he has is Terminate Hamid Kuori. What stands here at this mission card? Your first mission, execute an European secret agent operating in our country, Miltech analysis. Operation area Middle East, no base establishment, tactical linear approach task force. Success rate 85%, that's a real. For warming up a mission, a book. Every one of the two players will secretly open his campaign books, and every player reads a total different story. Yes, this is fun. Okay, let's read what player 1 sees. Player 1 sees this here. Okay, mission, Terminate Hamid Kuhori is the same player, he's the player 1, okay. Location, Middle East in Libya, so message. As you see, this is flavor text, it is cursive. So, you are the new addition to the RedCat? Well, that's why I'm going to give you a very simple task. Europe has paid one of our locals to carry out their orders. In the village of Al-Jaf, this agent named Hamid Kuhori is not trying to influence our people through propaganda. European infantry is on the spot to protect this trickster or to measure the length of his dog lash. We, RedCat, will not tolerate this, Commander. You must act quickly and forcefully. Your prey is Hamid. a civilian. Snap to it. The hunt is on. Okay. Tech level not available. In the campaign, tech level is very... normally a tech level is declared here. Maybe tech level 2. Then you can only buy figures with tech level 2 or 1. Okay, besides this. Start credits, nothing. Okay, in the mission card there was standing, we have only task force, no. There is no base to establish, so okay, it is logically we need no money. Okay. Then fog of war exists. Okay, what is fog of war? Okay, this will self-explain during this mission. In this mission, the round style must be used. Good information. This is the round style. We start at, logically we start at round 1. This is so. Primary goal. Hamid Kuori must be killed before the end of round 12. Maybe that's the reason we must use the round style. Exactly. So this information was secretly read by player 1. That's it. What does player 2? He sees this in his mission book. Mission terminate Hamid Kuori. Okay, boy, it's the same. Yes. As you see, there is a text. Location Middle East Libya. Okay, this is consent. Message. Hamid Kuori is the pastor of a parish in Libya, Al-Jauf. He had launched a peaceful campaign to unite the nearby skeptical and hostile communities and clans. His peaceful faith community has always grown and strengthened the country. Information has reported then an armed unknown force is approaching the community of Hamid. They carry the flag with a red fill-in predator. Okay. Then we have here a so-called start deployment. Because you have read there is fog of war. We have a start deployment and then an overall deployment. Rules. Tech level not available. Start coding 0. Fog of war exists. In this mission the round style must be used. The civilian token. So maybe this one. Okay, this one is Hamid Kuori and is controlled by you. Primary goal. Hamid must survive for a full 12 rounds. Okay. Definitely clear. Trigger. Player 1 wins, and the other trigger, player 2 wins. Okay, yes, this is very simple, then something will happen. Okay, very nice for a beginner mission. So the player 2 must deploy, this is the rule, must deploy the whole deployment. But we have fog of war, so only the start deployment must be deployed. So, player 2 deployed this and let's begin. Player 1 is every time the player who begins. Player 1, okay, we have a time, 1, and here. And 3, 1, 2, 3, ready. Okay, player 2. Player 2 cannot do anything because he has nothing to do. He has no figures. Player 2 then counts to 2. Round 2, begin. Of course, player 1 is the first one in this round, in the second round. Let's start with the fog of war. No. He enters a place adjacent to fog of war, and player 2 then must deploy the next tile. He must also look at the overall deployment. Yes, he has this info. This info is secret for player 1, but now it's revealed. And then he logically must put it here because he's the next one. So player 1 is still in action here. He can move a little bit. He can continue his activation with this figure. This is the MG buggy. Yeah, so this is special for MG buggy is if an MG buggy attacks infantry, the infantry loses retaliation. So we go here and kill this one, and then yes, both killed. So we must go on because we are in a hurry. Player 2 has nothing to do because he has no units. He has only player 2 increases the round style. So, ready with this? Okay, this is a civilian building, but it's a building. No one can kill buildings here because we have no units that can kill buildings. So, but why should we kill this building? This gives no sense. Player 2 does this now. Yes, player 2 had to put this here according to the overall deployment, and he ends and says to player 1, ready. So the player 1 knows, okay, there is no fog of war anymore, this is the whole deployment. And here's the civil token he must kill, but I can kill this. Okay, and move a little bit further on. So player 2, suppression and attack. This is just funny. Yes, and player 2 will increase the dial. Player 1, it's on this move, so okay, and player 1 is ready. Player 2 plays. Okay, well, this is a fine. Then maybe here and here, because he can, or maybe or not, I don't know. So player 2 increases the dial. Player 1 starts. Okay, we must do this and this one. He goes away. Player 2 ready. Player 2 increases dial. Player 1. Player 2, yeah, suppression and killing. Okay. So player 1, I think cannot win, and that's it. Okay. So player 2 wins the game. Now switch to the campaign book. And there stands the trigger. Trigger. Player 2 wins. Hamid is still alive at the end of round 12. Okay. Mission is finished. Player 1 must read text 42. Okay. Yes, I don't want to spoil something. The player 1 must, I think, he must explain to his supervisor why he didn't reach his goal, maybe. And we must read this text because it is here written. European media report. Yesterday, a terrorist attack was foiled in Al-Talab. of Al-Jauf province, a failed attack where a few terrorist organization called RedCat, whose goal would be to and further on, flavor text, you receive reward card, funds receive. Reward card, what is a reward card? We have here this reward cards, funds received. Okay. As a player 2 received this reward cards, and this reward cards you can read, funds receive, and so on. Put this card away to get 1 credit. Fine. Also there stands player 1 receives, missions. It is in red written because this is a red mission. Mission cards. So we get to the mission cards and search for Battle Islands. The first one, Battle Islands. And then you must write here the success of the first mission. Here you must write the name of the mission, terminate Hamid Kuori, and make a cross because you didn't reach the goal, and you received also Battle Island. So you must write Hitir al-Aswad and solvent W54. Al-Aswad. Here we have. And we must also write down these missions here to the mission cards. The reward card funds receive here. That's it. Last one. Then the whole campaign is ready. This means no player has a mission card anymore. Then you must end the campaign with the so-called evaluation. Yes, in the evaluation, the campaign logbook is also needed because every victory, in this mission no one got a victory point. In this mission no one got a charisma point. Here you must enter how many ore disappeared in Europe. As you can see, this is a green in Europe, and how many civilian buildings were destroyed in Europe. This means on a field which is green. Here you can see the same victory points, charisma points, and how many ore disappeared in the Middle East, such as fields here. So when I harvest this, so it disappears. And also how many civilian buildings were destroyed in Middle East. So on this tile. We have also some kind of special events. Maybe a president had been killed or something. Evaluation, it is also written in the rulebook at the end how you can get these parameters. And there will also be an app. Then the evaluation is ready, and we have a lot of some kind of matrix of different parameter, and with this parameter you can calculate what types of texts you must read, because the end of the story is put together of a lot of optional modular texts, and this is the story after that war. So thank you for watching how a campaign works. The next topic will be special, the indoor missions. Indoor missions only in the campaign. So thank you.